Hey, can you tell I'm recording this right after the last one? Probably. Anyway, welcome back to Homestuck. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to like the video. Really helps out. I'm not going to congratulate myself this time. I'm not going to do it. It's just going to be normal now, okay? It's going to be normal. Also, yeah, last time we did all these little mini stories, and I guess it was fine. All the sprites are alive. That's probably the biggest takeaway. And also Rose went with Durce's moon to go blow up. So, oh, wonderful. Another interruption. Unlocked album, Spurb and the Wanderers. Okay. Oh my god, there's more? Oh, there's so much more. Blue arrows, what the heck? Somebody's here. Doc Scratch has got a broom to shoo them away with. So this sequels to all of them, right? Oh, God, okay. This is a new one, though, I think. The Jade one? Jade and Karkat? Let's get the end of Nana. Fedora Freak? Wait, is this Dad talking? Oh, wait. This must be, right? This is Dad's PDA work chat thing. What would John's dad sound like? Well, he's going to sound like this. Like an average father from a cartoon, maybe. You know? Like one with like a hat and pipe. Yes. Eureka! Stand by for clarification. Enthusiastic outburst. Yes, can't be British though. Yes, it is as hoped for beyond hope. Unusual devices may be used to duplicate fresh, perfectly pressed garments inexhaustibly. Afiak. I actually don't know what this means. I've never used it before, and I've only seen it on forums. Nope, I don't know. Reconstructing complete professional ensemble now. Hold. Pleased to report restoration of dapper visage, an overwhelming success. Alas, devices appear to hold no such promise for departed family members. Misplaced handheld steam press. Update on device utility. Combinative apparel synthesis presents intriguing possibilities. Now combining expensive leather pipe tobacco sleeve with handsome grey fedora. To document results shortly. Resulted in hat with outlandish and frivolous appearance. Do not care for, shall discard immediately. Combination of pant, fine cotton shirt, even more disappointing. Yielded useless, excessively tall pant, relieving from wardrobe at once. Made unwelcome determination. Production requires expense of glittering abstractions called grist. Such jewels remaining in cash, libation in reserve, at premium. Consumed final swallow of carefully rationed urine. Soon to seek water elsewhere in exotic new surroundings. More importantly, to seek grist facilitating continued accessorizing. Note to self, use spoils to make more hats. Preparing for expedition to reap gems from mischievous local fauna. Crafted sturdy bludgeoning instrument out of uprooted mailbox. Tall pant perhaps adaptable as defensive garment. Part and well donning tall pant. Donned tall pant. Confidence in martial prowess perplexingly swells. Venturing out, powering down gray, serviceable handheld computing device to preserve battery. Additional updates to be submitted in a frank and forthright manner for judicious appraisal within a reasonable timeframe. TIA for your patience. Thanks in advance. I got one. Whew. Serious business. Exhaustion is taking hold. Oh. Turning on handheld device for brief report. Severe injury sustained in skirmish with undersized sportive rascal. Tall pant unremarkable in protective utility. Damaged, badly bloodied. No indication of laundering facilities throughout Enchanted Land whatsoever. Losing fluid rapidly. Maintaining adequate hydration levels more important than ever. Libations unfortunately not forthcoming. Rest needed. Seeking surface suitable for assuming reclined posture. Strength depleting. Tie loosened, removed, rolled up neatly, and tucked beneath hat. Minimal stamina left for disrobing sodden tall pant. Leaving on. Encountered rest surface. Horizontal stone slab exhibiting unidentified iconography. A tall post at each corner. Mysteriously inviting. Mounting slab. Exhaustion taking hold. Well, that's interesting. Wait, so this isn't... Hold on, I just read ahead. Anyway, Excuse me, sir. Pipefan 413, friend. Pipefan 413. Sound of voice nearly refreshing enough to distract from perpetual taste of warm, poorly filtered urine. So is Fedora Freak not dad, then? Oh my, no. I'm not actually your friend, dear. I'm his mother. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Another of Pipefan 413's legendary pranks. Please clarify. If why, prepared to regard as hilarious. If yes, I guess. Were that it was, I'm sorry to say there is no chicanery in play at all today. Though yes, that would be quite the doozy. I believe the late great Colonel would surely say we were cooking with petrol upon hearing such a whopper. No, I am just an old woman looking for her son. Understood, madame. You remind me of him so. Would you mind terribly if I talk to you for a little while? I am fearing the worst for my son. Well, my grandson has gone off to do great things. I've caught myself feeling a bit lonely, Can imagine no greater pleasure. Though eyelids heavy, getting dark, feeling in extremities, fading. Oh, but you must be so exhausted from your travels, you poor thing. Why don't you just lie there and rest? I'll tell you a story. Pipefan 413's kindly mother. Thank you. It is a fairy tale about a young sister and brother who were raised by a wicked witch. So is Fedora Freak Jade's father? Because that would make sense of the adventuring shtick. I don't know, the voice still fits. Hey, there they are. Betty Crocker. Oh no, I have to read all of this in Nana voice? I'm not doing it. I'm just going to read it in normal voice. You guys can thank me later. The witch, in truth, was a world-famous baking baroness. Her cruelty made life miserable for the two children, who did not have their father anymore to protect them. He was the greatest prankster who ever lived, and a true southern gentleman. He was killed by a comet on the day the boy was born, and the wicked baroness raised them alone, with a hand as firm as that which she ran her brutal baking empire. The children pledged to each other that one day they would run away together. They followed in the footsteps of the dear colonel. In defiance of the old batter witch, they studied his every jape and practiced them in secret. But as they grew older, their interests drifted apart. The boy developed a passion for adventure and put aside his study of practical jokes. He dreamed of wealth and fame and discovery, and swore he would wander the world. One day he decided to run away with the loyal dog he inherited from their father. He asked the girl if she would come along, but she was too scared of the retribution that might follow. The boy scoffed at the danger, and assured his sister there was nothing to worry about. But he had not seen firsthand what the Baroness was capable of. He told his sister that he believed in her, and that she could handle whatever the witch could throw at her. And with that, he was off, and she would never see him again. The Baroness would raise her very strictly, mentoring her in the art of baking. The girl took to the lessons with fierce determination. Her only act of defiance left was to one day surpass the Baroness in skill, and beat her at her own game. It was all she could do, for the Baroness made sure she knew there would be no escape. The girl surely missed her brother, and soon enough he achieved fame of his exploits. She followed him in the newspapers, the tales of his remarkable discoveries, inventions, and riches, how she wished she could rejoin him, and be free from toiling for the pastry hag. One day the girl was able to gather enough bravery to mention her brother to the Baroness, and her desire to see him again. With contempt she guaranteed that this could never happen. When the girl asked why, that was when the Baroness began to reveal to her more than just her baking secrets. She mentioned that, like many fairy tales, there was more to the children's past than they knew. The colonel was not their father, nor was the Baroness their mother. They in fact had no father or mother at all, nor were they ever actually born. They'd fallen from the sky. They were not actually brother and sister as they had been told either. Again, like in many fairy tales, the truth was that they were always destined to become married one day. They were to have 2 children, a son and a daughter, and these children were meant to save the world. But the Batter Witch was determined to make sure this destiny would never be realized. In her limitless cruelty, she would do all in her power to keep them apart for the rest of their lives. The girl that day swore she would bring down the Baroness and her evil empire. She would use the many secrets she'd learned over the years against her, and began carefully plotting her downfall. Years went by, the girl was nearly ready to put her plan into action, but then, just like that, the Baroness disappeared, and was never seen or heard from again. The girl was finally free, by a strange turn of events, but not without a final jab from the witch. It turned out that, in her will, she'd left the entire company to the boy. The boy, now a grown man, was already very wealthy in his own right. He had no particular need for the baking empire, but assumed control nonetheless, and integrated the company into his extensive collection of enterprises. The girl, instead of seeing this as more misfortune, took the news as a relief. She'd just as soon have nothing to do with the witch's empire, and far preferred to pursue her original passion for practical japery. She considered a reunion with her estranged brother, and once destined husband-to-be, but the days of longing for a future with him seemed to be from another lifetime. The chance had come and gone. She was content to let him live his increasingly elaborate life, while she sought a simpler one. Besides, now was not the time to revisit a destiny with an old star-crossed lover. She had recently become betrothed to a fine, upstanding gentleman. Soon she would start a family. No, not one meant for heroism as foretold, but one that would make her happy nonetheless. In following years, she was left to ponder all that might have been. What might have been if there had been no Baroness to keep the girl and boy apart? What might have been if the Baroness had not disappeared, and she had the opportunity to use her secrets against her? For you see, the girl had uncovered so many dirty secrets about the terrible Batter Witch, including the most troubling one of all. Of course, no one would have believed her, but she knew. She knew the Baroness was not human. Fedora Freak's gray serviceable handheld computing device's battery has died. Okay, so that was a lot more than I was expecting. So in this timeline, the Betty Crocker was either an aspect of Spurb or one of Spade Slick's exiles or one of the trolls back in time that messed up what was supposed to happen, which I imagine will end up happening in the true timeline, which is why John's familiar line skips a step instead of it being just one like all the other ones. Like he has a Nana is technically the one he sent back in time, and Jade has a grandpa instead of the appropriate things. But if that were true, Spurb either must have accounted for it because the kids are all the same age, right? So Spurb must have accounted for it and sent Rose and Dave later in the timeline, or it was originally intended for two of them to be older, but that doesn't seem true because looking at the troll session, that doesn't seem like it's a thing. At the same time, though, this means when we reset the scratch, I bet that's not going to happen. And that's going to cause a butterfly effect. Anyway, excellent. That was the first one. Let's go for more sprite shenanigans. I busted into his palace to finish the quest. I was expecting him to be asleep, and I was going to figure out some way to wake him up. But like last time I saw him, he was already awake to greet me. But I thought the denizens were supposed to be asleep, at least until you do the right things on your quest. They are. As sprites, we're programmed to know things like that about the game, but I guess not everything. It seems like if you try to go fight them too soon, you find them awake and they're like, "What the fuck you doing here already?" Which is what happened last time I saw him, before I became a sprite. I stupidly tried to fight him, which was a bad idea, because he's hella strong. And the whole time he was raving about shit, about a stolen sword and missing forge, but I wasn't really listening. If I had, I might have understood. He wasn't actually trying to kill me, he was giving me the choice. What choice? Wait, I mean, the choice. I always forget I can talk underline for important shit. What did you choose? I guess I made an unwitting choice, by deciding to flee. I figured he was unbeatable, so I decided to get the fuck out of there. So I snapped a quick captcha to get his huge hammer's code, and then got the fuck out. What happened when you saw him this time? Like I said, he was awake again. But this time I wasn't in any condition to fight, so I didn't. And that's what I didn't get. He's this terrible, angry, monstrous guy, but there's no need to fight him. So he looked me up and down all hard, saw the broken sword, and like before, gave me the choice. You mean the choice? Oops. Yeah. So was it the same choice? No. It was different. I think it must have be always different, depending on the circumstances. I don't know what the choice is when you face him the way you're supposed to, but what is falling out of the sky? Is that the Sweet Bro Hella Jeff skateboard that got launched in there like 1,000 pages ago and flew up into oblivion? Isn't that what happened? I honestly don't remember. But it is the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff skateboard, I think. Anyway. But I'm showing them this bleeding bird sprite holding his broken sword, so that's a pretty odd situation.
Then what did he make you decide?
He sees I got his sword and it's busted, and you can tell he's pissed. But like before, it's like restrained anger. Like he's always about to just fucking flip, but still keeps it together. So he can tell me he can repair it, and make the derringer with the forge lit. He says he can repair anything, but only one thing. And I had to choose, so I said, okay, fix the sword. As opposed to what? Me, probably.
As opposed to what?
It doesn't matter, really. I just thought making the sword felt like the right thing.
Oh.
So I gave him the sword, but it still wasn't all that simple. He needed the lava from the forge to make it, which means Echidna had to be awake. Our denizens had to have some kind of truce to make it happen. See what I mean about it being complicated?
Yeah.
So Jade must have done something right, to wake her up and get the forge going. I don't know what she did, though.
Probably something amazing. She's still working so hard to help everyone. I guess I used to be that way, but I've completely forgotten how.
Are you sure? Boom.
What's happening?
Reckoning. It's getting close to the end. More meteors are getting by the portals. The battlefield will probably be wiped out soon.
Can we do something to stop it?
Would there be a point?
I don't know. I like it here, though. I feel like I was drawn to come here when I wasn't sure where to go.
Yeah, me too.
The meteors and all the fire. It reminds me of when I died, and I was trying to wake John up, and I was scared then too, but I didn't let that fear stop me from trying to save him.
What would you want to do if you weren't scared?
I have no idea. I guess try to help? What is there to do?
Well, I was going to bring the sword to Dave.
Oh no! Does that mean you're going to leave?
No, I was going to say, I'm not in any shape for more adventuring. I figure this is probably my last stop. But maybe this is the way you can help.
You mean that I should give him the sword?
If you want.
But I don't want to leave you here either.
Maybe you don't have to actually go anywhere. You ought to have a lot of special powers, remember? Because of ascending to doghood.
Oh yeah.
Try doing your spacey thing. I mean, not to sound condescending or anything, but it's gotta be like borderline omnipotence pretty much. Just put your mind to it.
Alright, I'll try.
Mwah.
Well, that's how it ended up there. Now we know. Next up, escape pod. Mission accomplished.
What?
Friendly enemies are here. I'm still missing. Ring is still missing though. Wait, this thing is gone too. Actual mission. Kill Jade. Well, there's Ghost Rose. It's freaking out about the wallet. He's got the ring. Oh, thank goodness. Notice? Oh, no! Mr. Mayor! I mean, we know Mr. Mayor survives, because he's in the future, but... Oh, well, he's fine. I'm sure he's fine. Okay. Slice of life, dead John and Vriska. I remember now. I was tricked by a troll into flying up to the last gate, using this rocket pack. She said I could take a shortcut and go kill my denizen while he was sleeping. It, didn't quite work out that way. This sounds like Terezi's handiwork. I don't know. She didn't tell me her name. She was a blind troll. She made this incredibly shitty map for me to follow. Yeah, that's her. I guess she got both of us then. Unbelievable. She tricked you too? Yes, well, not tricked. So much as made a pointless coin flip and stabbed me in the back. Wow, that's pretty cold-blooded. Oh, sure. She was easily the most underhanded and villainous member of our group. Yeah. But I didn't let my guard down. And even when she stabbed me, I sure didn't think I was going to die. Why not? It turns out immortality isn't all it's cracked up to be. Let's leave it at that. So I guess you never got around to giving me immortality like you said. Or killing me, for that matter. Sounds like the blind troll beat you to it. No, I did, but... this will be hard to explain to you. Explain what? I guess in her own sick way, she actually set us up on this date together. Maybe I should thank her whenever she falls asleep or dies, God forbid. God forbid? I guess they have gods. Why not? So, now it is a date? I don't know. I said it wouldn't be unless you remembered, and now you remember. But you still don't remember me, do you? No. Yeah, I thought so. This version of you died before I started messing with you. Not that I expect you to understand what that means. Oh, this is... Okay, that makes sense. This is Doom Timeline, John. Makes perfect sense. Where is it? Now I get that. If I decided not to take the shortcut, I would have lived, and then you would have talked to me a lot. Yes, that's right. I guess I should have learned to give you more credit by now. Well, I might not have figured that out if not for, some things that just happened. I still can't believe I'm meeting a version of you that doesn't remember a thing about me. None of our great exploits, or any of the ways I helped you. Only that one stupid time I taunted you. It's a vaguely frustrating feeling. Sorry, not sure what to tell ya. So, you remember literally nothing I told you about myself, even the, compromising stuff. Well, you did just show me around your planet, which was really cool. There's compromising stuff? Your species would think so, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore. I guess not, but who says we can't get to know each other again? You wouldn't find that boring? No way, not if you wouldn't. You said the name of the blind troll who killed me, but you haven't told me yours yet. I haven't? No. It's Vriska. Nice to meet you, Vriska. I'm John, although you know that. Yes. So now what do we do? Aside from be dead for probably ever. Man, I don't know. Maybe you could tell me about how you died. What were the things that just happened you were talking about? We never did actually see this. She's got the rocket shoes back. Well, like I said, I flew up to the last gate like this. Oh, nice boots. Woo. Pipe dungeon. Wait, really? Oh no, I think that was just used. Okay, never mind. I don't think. Maybe it is. That was probably just in the video. There's a Deltarune thing where somebody was going over, I think it was Half-Bred Chaos, was going over like file things, and there's like a monster file for Echidna, which is like a monster that births all monsters. And they used this little sprite of this little worm guy. But that was probably just because this is also called Echidna, and it's probably because Toby made a reference to that. It's probably nothing more. Anyway. It brought me inside the palace. It was huge, and it took me a long time to explore. It was eerily empty, too. I had this weird feeling of getting to a place in a video game you're not supposed to be yet because you don't have the right power-ups and such. Do you know what I mean? Not really. I'm used to taking shortcuts whenever I play games. Oh, okay. So, I started getting crazy nervous the longer I was down here. I was starting to wonder if my silly iron pogo hammer would even do any damage against that monster. What? Against a denizen? Of course that piece of shit isn't going to do anything. If I were you, I would have chucked it into the forge. Excuse me, it's called the Wrinkle Fucker, and it is totally amazing. It might be alright if you combine it with something awesome, like some cool dice, for instance. That's absurd. Like anything like that would ever happen. Sound, okay. Fear of the Heavens, Secret of Mana. Okay. What's this? I found it very deep in the palace dungeon. I was wandering for hours following a horrible sound through the pipes. I could tell Typhus was really close because it was very loud here. It could only be the sound of him sleeping. I was so tempted to play it, but I didn't dare risk waking him up. Pretty much by then I was sweating bullets at the thought of confronting him. You were right to be nervous. Denizens are incredibly powerful monsters. You had no chance whatsoever at this stage of the game. You might have stood a chance after I started helping you, but Terezi really screwed you over by leading you here so early. Yeah, I guess if I ever see her I should thank her too. Why? Because this was important. What was? Getting killed by a monster? Well, yes, but not just that. The whole ruse was important. If I didn't make the decision to go, then Dave would not be able to go back in time and fix things. In fact, if I didn't die here in this place, we never would have been born in the first place. How could you know all of that? This way. Hello! This denizen does not look asleep to me. Nope. He was wide awake when I found him. I practically crapped my pants.
Well, that explains your quick death. If your denizen was anything like mine, it wouldn't have wasted much time before unleashing a huge shitstorm of devastating monster magic.
What was your denizen like?
Her name was Cetus. She was this awful sea monster. Her lair was deep underground amidst a bunch of shipwrecks. She was quite vicious and territorial. I knew I had to kill her quickly to release the horde, before she had the chance to do anything tricky.
What do you mean, tricky? Didn't she talk to you?
Oh, of course. She was babbling in riddles, through most of the fight. I wasn't paying much attention, though. I mean, what creature doesn't speak in boring riddles in this game?
So, is that what you all did? Kill your denizens as fast as possible without listening to them?
Yeah, pretty much. We were all pretty good players, remember?
Yeah, so I heard.
Well, okay, I can't exactly speak for everyone. There was a lot going on, and I don't know how some people went about beating their denizens. For instance, I'm not sure how our hero of Breath did it. Maybe the monster just released the horde for him out of pity.
Or maybe he just talked to his denizen.
If there was a way to avoid a tough battle, I'm sure he found it. It sounds like a good way to cheat yourself out of a lot of sweet XP and loot, though.
I don't know, you might be surprised.
John, are you seriously saying you had a nice friendly chat with this hideous bloodthirsty creature before he killed you?
Yes, Typhus might not be pretty to look at, but he's not a bad guy after all.
Okay, well, cool. I don't know what this is, but it's coming next. It's Jade.
What the hell are you doing now?
Our password.
Seriously, why'd you go back to see her? You didn't mention this last time.
Listen, fuck-ass, I'm gonna need a password before we continue. Please?
Right, okay. Let's see if I can remember. It was pretty elaborate, if I recall. Okay, here goes. I'm a disgusting, worthless bilge sack of the gargantuan teat of a laboring, leprous muscle beast. My self-esteem is so small, its existence is a matter of conjecture among theoretical physicists. I smell so bad, the stench cannot be expressed with even the most eloquent, florid language. The odor of my body has made poets cry. I have won special awards for discovering new places to touch myself erotically while farting. I unfairly pulverized the competition in asshole pageants, and I have received a lifetime ban from ugly contests by President Shitface himself. My blood is not fit to flow through a sewer, and my sign is a pictographic symbol that loosely translates as, please hike these pants up to this guy's armpits, chain him to a flogging jet, and make like a fucking example out of this sorry sack of shit. When I look in the mirror, my reflection slowly shakes his head while I wet myself in shame. What? That was it, wasn't it? How was that not fucking it? Did I forget an apostrophe somewhere?
No, Carcat. That wasn't quite the password. But you were on the right track.
Can we just talk now?
Do you even remember the right password?
Something along the lines of gratuitous self-deprecation forced into my mouth, involving reference to some kind of weird human coupling ritual.
You're being deliberately dumb. It was, if I hate myself so much, then why don't I hate marrying myself? Remember? I was just using the password system to poke a little fun at you, and you turned into this weird overdramatic thing. Jeez.
Haha, wee. Can we get down to fucking business again?
Haha, wee. I wonder if we'll ever be able to start a conversation without having a ridiculous argument about the password system.
If you would drop the password system and just let future me talk to you, he might be able to give you an answer. Spoiler, the answer would be no, because the passwords are stupid.
Why would I want to do that? The only guy who's dumber than past Carcat is future Carcat, and vice versa. I have this on good authority from both sources.
I still think your use of the terms is kind of asinine. There really is no past or future Carcat from your view. There's Carcat who knows less stuff and Carcat who knows more stuff. Why not just gather the facts from the guy who's got the lowdown already? I mean, I'd do it myself, but I can't stand the guy.
You see, that's your problem. Okay, one of the many, many problems. You just have no patience to do things the right way. You're always just looking for the shortcut. Even if doing so has brought you nothing but trouble 100 times before. It's sort of funny that the only thing standing in your way is one of your other problems, your preposterous self-loathing. So you can't even trust your future self to help you cheat. It's like you have so many problems they cancel each other out. Wah.
That's not the only thing standing in my way. Your stupid passwords are also standing in my way. If not for that, I could be fast-tracking this to Solution City for us both.
Exactly.
Okay, whatever. Let's just get on with this linear conversation, okay?
Okay.
So you gave me that silly password, and we ended our conversation a few minutes ago from my end, and I scanned ahead looking for a good moment on your timeline to pick it up again, and I noticed you went back to see her again for some reason.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering why. What happened to the frog breeding? I thought we were on a roll with that.
Oh yes, we still are. This little detour is related to that task. We should be nearly done.
What was she even saying to you? I can't understand a word of that horrifying gibberish.
I can understand her just fine.
I still don't really get it. Why my denizen was such a nightmare, while yours apparently gives you guttural pep talks in some Byzantine monster language.
Oh, I see.
We already talked about this. Echidna and I have an understanding now. Wink.
Ooh, vague bullshit. It's the exact fucking thing I can't get enough of.
Well, maybe if you weren't in such a grumpy hurry all the time, you wouldn't have killed your denizen so quickly, and you might have actually learned something.
Huge ugly monsters are for killing. Period.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I just had a moment. I've been doing Deltarune streams on the weekends, right? If you're watching this, if you're a future you, then this might not be true. But if you're present or past you, this is probably true. Anyway.
This Carcat voice is basically what I did for Susie. So, when Susie literally has a line that says, "They're enemies, they're for terrorizing," and he's like, "Huge ugly monsters are for killing." It's just funny. Anyway.
Did you ever talk to Kanaya about it?
I don't remember, maybe? I'm a busy guy, Jade. I talk to a lot of people about a lot of stuff, including myself.
Her situation was very similar to mine.
I thought she killed her denizen to light the forge or something.
Doesn't sound like you got the whole story. Or maybe you just weren't listening to her.
Well, I sure don't think it was whatever you did. In any case, I thought all that was over with. Why are you back? What does this have to do with frog breeding?
This was Kanaya's suggestion.
Kanaya's still helping you?
Yes, I'm talking to her right now, actually.
Oh, I see her across the room. She's not talking to anyone on the computer now.
Of course not. She's from a different time than you, genius.
Which time?
A few hours in your future.
I see how it is. You won't talk to future Carcat until I jump through your fucking password hoops and become him eventually. But you'll talk to future Kanaya just like that. Double standard, anybody? Jade says, yes, please.
You're so ridiculous. I have Kanaya using the same password system as you. She's just a little further ahead on my timeline is all. It'd be pretty hard to keep you both synced up.
I thought you didn't want shit spoiled from the future, though.
Yeah, from my future. I don't want you guys telling me the things I do before I do them because you talk to future me. But knowing a few things about your future doesn't really matter. Not that I'm going to get to tell you any of it, so don't ask.
I think I'm on the verge of becoming a religious person. I just don't know where else to turn to remove the awesome suffering that Trollian's temporal chat bullshit miraculously continues to inflict on me. Maybe the mirthful messiahs will come and take my pain away. Oh yes, that sounds so heavenly. Jade, please excuse me while I go paint my face to outwardly reflect the beauty of my inner awakening, and drub my think pan mercilessly to reduce my intelligence to the level necessary to sustain these beliefs.
Sign. What are you even talking about?
Are we almost done crafting this master plan? I have stuff to attend to here. My team is falling apart, and I can't find Gamzee anywhere. I'm worried he might have wandered off somewhere and got hurt.
Aw, well, you'll find him.
I thought you weren't telling me about my future.
I know I made an exception, just this once.
Let's just move this along. Just update me on the frogs and give me a new password, okay?
Kanaya thinks we should all talk about this. She says you're important to consult on the matter, but the you from her time is too busy.
Busy with what?
She's opening a memo.
All right, Rose and Dave. Rose and Dave, to end the episode with.
I'm piloting the moon through the furthest ring right now. At the moment, it's passing through a dream bubble. I'm visiting your dream in person. Or you're the one visiting me as I travel in your sleep, if you'd rather look at it that way.
Okay, so all those questions you asked me, getting me to remember, you were just stalling me, weren't you? So I wouldn't wake up and try to stop you.
Not entirely.
This sucks. Could you please just turn the thing around and come back?
Why? I'm already out here. I might as well go through with it.
We agreed I'd do it, though. Or at least you pretended to agree just before going to a Major League wind-up with your nap yarn.
A Major League wind-up?
Sports.
It's always been pretty sad that I seem to know more about sports than you, which is really saying something.
All I'm saying is, no one likes a basketball hog.
It's probably just ball hog.
I just think you should know that in an athletic arena of competitive achievement, it's a widely known fact that cherry-picking posers get shouted nothing but boos. You don't gank the Rock and steal the big man's thunder on his raucous drive to the hole.
Oh, Lord.
Is that the sort of ignominy you want? See, you didn't consider sports, you never had to consider the sports.
The last thing I want to do is come between a big man's thunder and any particular hole he might prize.
And yet, such has been what's happened. It's like the tight end was going long down the yard in a sudden death. It's me and the tight end, and the quarterback sniped the field goal just before the NFL buzzer went off. The greedy QB is you.
That's not even close to being a thing in football.
But instead of winning the gold sports prize, you just fucking die, and nobody cares, and it didn't mean anything.
Which prize is that?
The football prize.
You mean the most vaunted accolade associated with the gridiron, known as the Stanley's Cup?
No, come on. It's called the Bruce Bombardi Trophy or something, for best pile squad.
I'll take your word for it.
And even though you're dead, all these fat millionaires in helmets just leap on your corpse anyway and pile up, and I mean way up.
How high do they even have to be?
The sport pile doesn't stop getting taller.
Does the officiator have a means of measurement on hand? I wouldn't want to be crushed by a non-regulation sport pile.
What do you care? You'll be dead like the mission-thieving poser you are.
Poser? So not cool?
Yes, poser. It should be my torso getting pulverized by that avalanche of overpaid beefcakes, and you know it.
I forget what we were doing exactly. Were we pursuing the hack-eyed debate over who has the best claim to self-sacrifice, or seeing who can out-dumbass the other with obtuse sports lingo?
There obviously stopped being a difference between those things. The question is offensive. Almost as offensive you stalling me while you peel out your hair in your dumb moon.
I'm the one stalling? The moon is probably just a speck in the sky now due to your strange beefcake harangue.
Yeah, but I don't know how to wake up is the thing. How do I wake back up?
I guess I could wake you back up if you really want.
Okay, then do it.
But you have to promise to stay put. Don't try to stop me, just let it go.
But this is my mission.
It really makes no sense for you to go. This was never your preoccupation. They selected me a long time ago.
Doesn't make sense. Why'd they drag me into it just to have me make a map and then let you ditch me? They've obviously been gunning for me, too.
Yes, they helped you chart a path through the ring, and they will open that path for a pilot they have marked. I believe I fit the description. I'm not so sure about you.
Why do you think that?
I'm the pilot. That's all there is to say on the matter.
But I don't want you to die.
Help John and Jade.
This isn't right.
Then I'm not going to help you wake up. I'll stall you some more.
So you admit you were stalling me with all that bullshit?
I said not entirely.
What do you mean?
It's going to be a long ride through all this nothingness. Maybe I just thought some company would be nice before it's all over. So, what'll it be?
What?
I'll wake you, but only if you promise to rejoin the others. Could you give a message to John for me?
Sure, but if I'm promising not to chase you down, then there's not really any hurry to wake up.
Oh, are you sure? I was looking forward to pulling another wicked googly with the yarn. Sports sways.
No, I'll stay asleep a while.
Okay.
What did you want me to tell John?
What was that?
What? What?
Did you hear something?
No. What?
I thought I heard something outside.
Diamonds, Droog! I'm here to kill you. Are you next? There it is. Who's this douchebag? I mean, bag. I'm stuttering. This dude is making me nervous.
You don't remember him?
No.
Then I guess this isn't a memory.
So he's actually here with us on the moon?
Not with us, just me. You're still on Durst, remember? Oh, that woke him up. He's looking very slowly. Okay, apparently that was just a look. I thought we were going to see something. No sound. Oh, he's going. He's going to get revenge on Diamond's Droog. Well, let's see who the interruption is. It seems she's acting out again. Sorting these clippings will have to wait while I settle her down. I apologize profusely. Please continue to help yourself to the serviceable
forward command in my absence. As a first-class host, I keep a healthy supply on hand at all times. Forward command. Oh my god, there's more! Jesus. These are so dense. God. I was like, ooh, there's like... What page am I on? I'm actually so close. Wait, I have to look this up now. It's like 4,100 and something, right? We didn't make much progress this episode. Because each episode was like 8 pages in and of themselves. Or each page, rather, was 8 pages in and of itself. Homestuck, Act 5. Okay, 4107. So we are extremely close. Wow. Except all the pages have like 8 different stories in them, but still. I'm excited. Next week we might get to the scratch. Maybe. If this kind of stops being so hyper dense. I like these though. I missed the more slice of life stuff. And I know Homestuck is extremely long and all this, right? But I live for character interactions. So let the characters interact. There was so much lore explaining, and I think that was one of the hardest episodes for me to get through in a while. Was the one where Doc Scratch was just Scratch-splaining the lore to Rose. That one was rough. But we're back. We're back. Yes. Woo. Woo. Yeehaw. Should I do a tier list? I already said I didn't have time. Yeah, I should stop. Thank you for watching. Question of the video. Here's a fun one. I don't know how many more of these there are, and I can't look because there could be spoilers in the thumbnails. Crazy that I'm saying that about a webcomic, but it's true of these. But if you could add one more to these, what would you add? Like one more little slice of life section between 2 characters. Because we just saw some weird pairings get to talk to each other. We got to see Vriska and John and Dead John go on their little date. We got to see Jasper, Sprite, and Nepeta talk to each other. Honestly, I think one that could really use some help, it'd be nice if we could get an Eridan one that maybe fills in some of the backstory we're missing from when he was doing stuff. So maybe I could care about him even a modicum. Also, what's another good one to throw in there? Honestly, we need a Gamzee one, and it looks like there's going to be a Gamzee and Tavros one, which I don't know if that'll be worth anything. Tavros also needs some more help in being a decent enough character, but yeah, I don't know. Also, we are going to the outer ring, or whatever, the furthest ring, whatever it's called, with the dead people. And Aradia is technically still alive, so we're going to be able to get her back when we go there with the Scratch. I'm actually going to be so excited, man. I'm so excited for the trolls and the humans to just be in one place together. All of them. That's going to be insane. Assuming it maybe kind of happens. I don't know what'll happen when the Scratch actually happens and everybody gets reset. Is John just going to disintegrate? Probably not. But I imagine, I don't know, maybe Rose will just die. But I imagine there's going to be some sort of grand reset. We'll see. We'll see. These were good, though. I'm excited again. Finally, I got through the dregs of page 3,500 to 3,800 of just people just standing around, and finally things are happening again, and characters are acting like themselves. I guess it's not really that Rose wasn't acting like herself, even though she's literally being possessed by dark gods right now, but you know what I mean? It's just more that she wasn't getting to act at all. I know I complained about this forever, but she was in this episode and she was good in this episode. So, I gotta bring it up because it got fixed. She got to make funny jokes with Dave, and it felt like a distant memory from my past. to when Rose was closer to the top of my favorite characters in Homestuck. It used to be John, Rose, then Jade, then Dave. Remember those days? What a fool I was. But not really, because Jade hadn't done anything yet. And Dave was being really annoying and also not doing anything. Okay, I'm going to end the episode now. Goodbye.